Coach Brew rejuvenating this team this season after back-to-back years of struggling with kind of a mix of upperclassmen and underclassmen. They've got a freshman orient.
And that's what she did. Unfortunately, she kind of was discombobulated on which way she was going. So
it's fun to see the smiles from her teammates' face. Like, yeah, you know what? Let's just shake it off and get into the contest. Your starters listed below for Oral Roberts as Mo Bretons knocks down a jumper off the glass and in, the senior from Spain. We mentioned Kenny Jolippi, the team's leading scorer. Riley Torrey also in double figures this season in the backcourt. For UND, a first career start for freshman Olivia Lane. Travis Brewster continuing to mix up the lineups this campaign. Front court for the team from Oklahoma tonight.
Yeah, I think Coach Brew really wanted to go with some more size in today's lineup, and that's where Olivia Lane gets the nod. They just need to do a good job of playing good defense without fouling. Stay out of foul trouble when you have two bigs on the court at once. You've only got one reserve sitting on the bench in Ellie Van Loo. So without Melissa Leach in the lineup, you have to be able to play defense without fouling and slow them down on the block.
And this is Fleece now getting that assignment against Bretons. The 6'4" senior unable to connect this time. That was Elena Jarnett, the lone senior on this Fighting Hawk team this season. And she'll take it right to the rim with the left. Jarnett, who's been awfully good this season, running this new look offense, much more up-tempo, and we saw there, they're not afraid to put the head down and run to the rim. Quickly at the other end, Katie Kirkhart, 5'9" junior guard from Muskogee, Oklahoma. Not a big-time scorer, making her 14th start of the season here tonight. ORU this season averaging just 67 points a contest, 7th in the Summit League compared to 73 per game for UND, which is top 4. Jacqueline Jarnett, an open look for 3. And the sophomore wing knocks it down.
Great ball reversal, great inside-outside action. Julia Fleece was open off that screen, and they switched there with a guard on a big, and she found a teammate, and that one more pass will get you. That's where they got Jacqueline Jarnett in that corner with that. Oral Roberts, you saw it right there. Defend the three-point line. North Dakota can get hot at home from the outside and in front of your home crowd especially. So if Oral Roberts can step up, really defend that three-point line, make North Dakota put the ball in the block and get into the paint where your bigs are nice and tall and long, that'll make for good things to happen on the defensive end for Oral Roberts.
Kenny Jolippi, her first bucket of the night off the inbounds pass. Heads up play for the junior. And now an offensive foul. Games, including a 23-point, 10-rebound effort in the victory against Purdue Fort Wayne last Saturday. She'll have to go to the bench, and you'll think she'll be there for a while here in this first quarter.
Yeah, that's the risk you run starting two bigs in there. You see they're gone down now just to Ellie Van Loo, and she's going to have to play some big minutes. And she can, with her length and her frame, she just needs to really play defense with her feet and make her defenders shoot over her. Van
Loo, the freshman from Wisconsin, affecting that shot. Here's Michaela Reinke off the bench. The junior guard from nearby Kindred, North Dakota, point advantage, and choosing to keep this full court pressure on.
Yeah, that's something North Dakota uses as kind of a feather in their hat. They really want to pressure you, and they want to try to speed you up enough to turn you over or tire you out, is what Coach Mo told me a couple weeks ago. He wants to tire them out in the first half and hope they run out of gas in the second half from all the pressure.
Nice move by Bretons, down low but cannot finish. Mo Bretons having 9 points, 6 rebounds, and a block per game this season. Second year as a starter for Missy Cousin. Elena Jarnett finding Van Loo down low, who had her red shirt pulled early in the Summit League calendar when Melissa Lee went out injured. Here is Van Loo on the offensive rebounds and the finish.
It's a lot of fun to watch Ellie Van Loo grow, Alex. From the beginning when she got that red shirt pull when Melissa Lee was hurt until now, she's made some great strides. She's not going to out-quick anybody on the block, but she's going to use her size as her advantage and really take her time and get meaningful looks at the hoop.
Reinke now with the steal. The easy lay-in for Elena Jarnett. 6-0 run for the Fighting Hawks. They have a 5-point advantage midway through the first. Back down low. Rachel Schumacher this time off the bench and off the mark. North Dakota starting strong from the field, 5 of 6 here in the opening 4 minutes. Kenny Jolippi, strong take to the rim. And now a foul against the Golden Eagles.
put that shot up. There's a lot of blue around the paint, so North Dakota needs to identify where their defender is, the girl they're guarding, and really box out and try to push them back and make the rebounds just a little bit easier to grab.
North Dakota did a decent job against Lippy down in Tulsa. She still got 12 points and 7 rebounds, but it took her 11 shots to get those 12 points. Travel against Reike down low. Turnover is still an issue for this North Dakota team this season. 18 per game, 8th in the conference. They've got 4 here in the early going, including one right off the opening tip, but still maintaining this 5-point advantage. Schumacher, nice give and go down low. Gentry Holtz inside, did not make the finish. Reike in transition. An open 3 this time drops. Casey Baravich, the freshman from Roseau, Minnesota, off the bench. That's got to feel good for Casey. She was 0 for 10 when these two teams met down in Tulsa in January. A high volume score, able to get one to go there. Here is Baravich. North Dakota aggressive on the offensive end, but it's been their defense so far that's helped them build this 8-point advantage. Reike, the lefty, able to shoot that over Lippy, but short. No second chance this time for UND. Gentry inside, able to get past Van Loo and finish with the left. What a luxury for Misty Cousin to have a 6'3" big to come off the bench like that, along with Shoemaker at 6'2". They're certainly skilled in that post position.
Yeah, their
and deep
game
as
plan
well.
right now is to go inside and really try to take it at North Dakota's bigs. They're 4 of 11 from the field, and they're all coming from the paint, inside the paint, and it's good to see Ali Van Loo score them inside the paint. If you can get her with some space and give her a good pass where she's comfortable catching, she's shooting a good percentage from there this season.
Nice find by Jacqueline Jarnett. Van Loo's first bucket of the night. Lippy for 3 from behind the men's line. Kenny Jo Lippy, a 30% three-point shooter, capable of shooting from out there, more known for her drive. This ORU team shoots it well from behind the arc. Second best in the Summit League in terms of three-point field goal percentage at 34%. Van Loo will take one. This one off the mark. Ali Van Loo, not a high-volume three-point shooter, just her 4th three-point attempt on the season, yet to cash one in from behind the arc. Not a lot of whistles here in the early going, already 7 minutes in. The long jumper by Rachel Skalnick, the 5'8" senior. Another in-state kid, pulling ORU back within 3. Jacqueline Jarnett maybe got away with the travel on the initial dribble, and then we of course still have a month left of action. Glad to have you with us. North Dakota, ORU, Alex Henderson alongside Valerie Sussex and our entire Midco SN team.
You went with my full name, Valerie Sussex.
You know, we were just talking
That's
about
pretty
you
good.
changed your Twitter handle to Valerie Sussex, and that's been stuck in my head now since the Open.
My mom will appreciate that. She's watching in Wapaton, and I'm Val a lot to a lot of people, but to your mom, you're always, you know, what they named you, Valerie. Usually when you're in trouble, but now that I'm older, I'm not in trouble too often, so.
It's a good name. It's a good name, Val.
Yeah. If you're willing to run, she's going to run right along with you, and she'll try to put you into a position to be successful. Let's go as fast as you can go and make your teammates keep up with you, and she's done a really nice job offensively getting them going at a good pace. We talk about turnovers. Sometimes they get a little bit loose with the basketball, but that's what happens when you're going 100 miles an hour. But hopefully it can tire out a team that doesn't have quite as deep of a bench as North Dakota has.
That is one of the pros. When you do have a lot of people you can go to push the base, keep fresh bodies out on the floor. Long 3 off the mark. Sarah Garvey off the bench, misfiring. Able to make up for it though at the other end. Nice steal, the long pass in the direction of Manson picks off. Kenny Jolippi an open look. Good hustle inside. Rachel Skalnick able to steal it away on the defensive rebound opportunity by UND, but couldn't
I
get.
think she expected the defender to be right there on the ball.
Well, after losing the rebounding edge down in Tulsa by 20, 54-34 in that contest, UND with a +6 advantage here tonight so far in the opening 9 minutes. Xander an open look. Nearly gets the O board, but picked off by Garvey. Gentry on the post-up, got double teamed that time, and Maggie Manson, the freshman from West Fargo, able to come up with the steal. Another turnover forced by this North Dakota defense. 4 freshmen and a senior on the floor now for the Fighting Hawks. Baravich weaving her way through off the hands of Manson, who saves it. Good pressure by Kirkhart. Left in a fast-paced opening 10 minutes here at the Betty. Olivia Lane with 3 to shoot. Down low, nice find to Jarnett. And Jacqueline able to sky for the shot off the glass and in. Shot clock turned off. 9 to play in the first quarter. Katie Kirkhart works off the screen and knocks down the jumper in the lane. Nice bucket from Kirkhart. Kind of a cross between a big pizza box and a tombstone.
Yeah, maybe Claire Orth really, it has Claire's name on it. We're thinking she may really like tombstone pizzas, you know, because that's what it comes down to. I'll have to ask Ty Shannon and the boys afterwards here, what is going on over there, and is that the only cardboard you could find?
We appreciate the excitement and the support.
Yeah. And
the execution may be a little lacking, but it's all good.
And we love their energy.
Well, that's the best, for sure. Lippy unable to connect at the rim on one end. Claire Orth off the mark on a 3 at the other. Kenny Jolippi in transition once again right to the rim. She's the Summit League leader in free throw attempts this season. Did not get the call this time. No second chance opportunity for the visitors from Tulsa and Elena Jarnett. Able to push the floor back the other direction. Julia Fleece, by the way, back on with those 2 fouls, unable to connect. Lane, though, with the rebounds. All 5 starters back out for North Dakota. Bit of a wayward pass there as Fleece was trying to kick it back out.
And that's exactly what they did. Julia Fleece really had nowhere to move or operate. We see Julia at her best when she can face up and attack the rim and use that dribble and finish on either side, and there wasn't any real estate for her over there, so really good defense by the post players of Oral Roberts.
Signs back in the game. Down low, Schumacher, the quick turn for Shoemaker just off the mark. That's been a trend, though. Every time a post touch for ORU, 12 of their 15 points scored in the paint so far tonight.
To play against a team with some size, but her ability to rebound the basketball.
Tonight, a Samaritan's Feet weekend here. The men's team will do the same tomorrow. Fans were encouraged to bring a pair of shoes to help support those who don't have the means to purchase these shoes. Get a discounted ticket if you brought a pair. Need to see both Travis Brewster's staff and Paul Sather's staff tomorrow participating in that.
Yeah, we'll have to look tomorrow and see if Coach Sather has his toenails painted. I saw down there Coach Brew had a Kelly green toe and the other big toe was white, so I'm sure he got a pedicure and got his toes painted. So no pressure for Coach Sather to go out and try to outshine Brew's toes tomorrow afternoon.
Something tells me Paul's probably not going to go with that. Roberts have upped the defensive intensity here in this quarter, though. Less quality looks. They've forced 8 turnovers now. They forced 18, by the way, in a loss against South Dakota State last week. It was a 15-point defeat down in Tulsa, their first home loss of the season. North Dakota coming off back-to-back wins on the road against, or at home, against Western Illinois, on the road against Purdue Fort Wayne. 4 to shoot now. Bertans off the mark. Last touch.
Bodying up and playing really good defense, and then you let one just slip out of your fingertips.
Well drawn up inbounds play. Jolippi, though, cannot knock down the long tray. Oral Roberts now just 1 for 4 from behind the arc. UND 2 for 7 from deep. Sanders' pass picked off by Kirkhart. No field goals yet in this quarter for the Fighting Hawks. Kenny Joe Lippy. This one is pure, and it is a 3-point basket. The second 3 of the night for the junior guard. And the Summit League's leading scorer has her team back within 1.
Yeah, it was really good ball reversal from Oral Roberts, and Jacqueline Jarnot was sagging in to try to help on the big, and Kenny Joe Lippy was left wide open.
Jacqueline Jarnot, though, with the answer at the other ends. She's really worked on that part of her game this season, around 30% still from 3. Able to knock down one there. And when you're 6'1" and you can shoot it like that, and you're a lefty, a dangerous matchup for anybody.
She does a nice job getting her feet set before the ball comes to her. You know, the times that she has to put the ball on the ground and make a decision, she's maybe not at her best. When she can catch the ball and be able to just catch and shoot, limited with the short bench on the big, or the post players are for North Dakota. And so if they can keep Fleece out there and keep her smart and get into the second half with only 2 fouls, that would be ideal.
We saw last night in the men's game, Marlon Stewart picking up his 3rd personal in the first half. But an upperclassman, much like Fleece, able to play smart, stay in the contest, help the team. That's got to be the hope for UND here. Fleece back to the elbow, unable to connect. Tough rebound in traffic by Shoemaker. UND struggling from the floor here in the second quarter. Hanging in there on the defensive end is Gentry. Good move to spin. Lippy with the offensive rebounds. Right back into Gentry Holtz. Not in a bit, but the reason why North Dakota is so thin in the front court. Melissa Leeds still out with the hand in. That week, UND was able to pick up a win against Omaha. Allie Van Loo's debut when she was so good coming off the bench, but then had to go to Tulsa a couple of days later. And there was, well, Melissa Leet was missed in that contest.
There was some growing pains, and you're just trying to play without one of your big presences, and North Dakota's really figuring it out. You see their rotations have changed, and they're utilizing players different, and frankly, Allie Van Loo has had game-like experience now, and that's what makes a big difference for North Dakota.
Xander off the mark from 3. Lead, who still is leading the Summer League in blocks per game. It started 7 games for North Dakota this season. She perhaps has a career in television broadcasting. She was helping us out in our pregame coverage. She and Julia, top team really ever since they rejoined the conference after a 2-year hiatus to the Southland. Lippy off the cousin, keeps her out there. Looks like she's going to go to the bench now with Riley Torrey quickly off the pine.
This ORU team is really built for success. They've got good players on the inside. They have some size. They have really quick guards, and they have girls that can shoot the ball really well.
Speaking of shooting the ball well, Borovich right on cue. Borovich who hit a 3 earlier tonight. 6 points now after that triple. The lead back to 5. Garvey at the other end, though, able to answer right back. Oral Roberts has been a little cold from the outside tonight. They've not taken many. 3 of 7 now from deep. North Dakota, meanwhile, 3 of 9 from behind the arc as Reinke gets that one rejected into the student section. Gentry Holt.
Good out of bounds plays, so hopefully they can find a shooter and break someone open here.
Kaplan off the roll, finding Borovich. No starters on the floor now for Travis Brewster. Reinke knocking down the 3 from the wing. Michaela Reinke.
Pretty good confidence by someone who just got their stuff blocked right into the bleachers to come back and say, that's okay, I'll just hit one that's worth 1 more point than what you just blocked. So good way to keep your dauber up, Michaela.
Reinke now 10 of 22 from behind the arc this season. Mo Bretons at the other end, able to knock down the jumper, keeping ORU within 3. Lily Kaplan now, the freshman from Bismarck Century High School. Garvey on the defensive glass for ORU. Riley Torrey off the dribble, somehow able to finish through the trees inside. First bucket of the night for Torrey, who was shut out in that game against South Dakota State last week. Torrey, who averages Olivia Lane whistled for the movement.
Tough. As a post player, you always want your guard to wait for the screen, and I think that's kind of what happened. The movement of Olivia Lane and the movement of the guard just created quite the collision, and that's when that moving screen comes. You got to get the guards to wait so the post players can get up there and set a good screen without anybody moving.
Bertans now right back at Lane. Get a good look from the 6'4" center. Just too strong. Just because it really wanted that one in front of us. Bertans now 3 of 9 from the floor. Olivia Lane inside, front rims, the attempt. Bertans, by the way, 3 of 9. Lippy, 3 of 11. And now a foul. You think back to the Omaha game, Jacqueline Jarnett colliding with Sarah Ogier, and Jacqueline had that walnut on her forehead for the rest of the game, and Ogier was bloodied.
That's a good memory. You've called a lot of games between that game and this game, between hockey and men's basketball and women's basketball.
There was a lot of blood. That stands out.
Some of those you just remember.
So the turnover here for North Dakota, forced by ORU. 10 giveaways now for the Fighting Hawks in the opening half. Riley Torrey on the drive, stripped away. Nice work by Holt to keep it alive. Garvey, the long three, gets it to drop. Sarah Garvey, who's a 32% three-point shooter on the season. She's got a couple now from deep. Casey Baravich off the mark. Good backside rebound, though, by Keplin. She tries to feed Lane on the inside, and they're going to get shoot 15. North Dakota now in the bonus after that. 50% free throw shooter on the season, but able to connect on both here. Travis Brewster's team being outscored 16-11 in this quarter. Julia Fleece, remember, on the bench with 3 personal fouls. North Dakota's leading scorer. Bertans back to work at travel this time.
Yeah, a lot of emphasis from Oral Roberts getting that ball in the paint and trying to make a move and attack North Dakota's bigs. That time Jacqueline Jarnett got the call to guard on the block and did a nice job staying low, moving her feet, and playing defense without fouling.
Under a minute now in half number 1. All side up at the Betty. Lane going to work down low, cannot get that to go over Shoemaker. Chance out for the visitors from Salsa to pull back in front. Riley Torrey gets that blocked at the rim. Good fight to get it back, though, and she and Lane will be tied up.
Don't use one, you lose it going into the half here. They both have 4 left. I was surprised, just a little surprised Coach Brew didn't take his there.
A little over a second difference between game and shot clock. North Dakota looking for a little offense to close out the half. Lane down low, able to power this one up and over Bertans. Clock still running. ORU now will pick up the basketball. 5 seconds left. Rachel Skolnick. 1 to shoot. Zander gets in there. Skolnick can't hit. The last 4 home games of the season. So far, so good. A 2-point advantage over a team that got them by 23 back in January. Alex Heinert, Val Sussex here with you. Jeremy Klein, our producer. Mike Dermott, our director. The rest of our Midwestern crew doing yeoman's work out in a chilly truck this evening. Right off the restart. Gentry Holt, who was awfully good off the bench in that first half. If you look at the splits, Holt, who's a senior, +7 when she was on the floor. The best out of anybody on +9 from the visitors tonight. Fleece in the game with those 3 fouls, misfiring on the 3. Jarnett, though, right.
You know, especially with the turnovers that North Dakota's had, 10 turnovers in that first half, you're essentially giving up 10 shot attempts. So you have to be able to capitalize when you are shooting the ball to get those O boards, or when Oral's shooting to try to get that ball back when you're turning the ball over so much. It's important to keep rebounding.
We keep finding Julia Fleece when she's in the basketball game. First bucket of the night for Fleece. Julia, who's 7th in the conference, if you look at just at Summer League stats, in scoring this season. Nearly 13 points a game to go along with 5 rebounds. Able to cash one in there, and Gentry Holt doing the same at the other end.
Much younger player in Olivia Lane. That's Oral Roberts is lucky to have a player like that come off the bench for you. Not a lot of teams can bring someone so skilled off the bench and make an immediate impact.
Holt, who missed the first half of the season, started playing on New Year's Eve, and she's been in the lineup as a starter for the majority of the Summer League campaign. Came off the bench for the first time today, but quickly inserted into the starting 5 after half. She's got her team up by 1. Mo Bertans, who picks up her 3rd personal just a bit ago, or correction, her 1st personal, excuse me, just a bit ago. Able to score right there. For some reason, 24 on one side of the thing, 24 on the other. The home 24 with 3. Bertans able to knock it down. 8 points now for the senior. Fleece right back at the other end. Nice find from Elena Jarnett.
It's interesting. Both of these teams kind of have the same game plan. Let's go inside, let's pound the ball inside, and then that'll open up some perimeter game for us. But that's what both of these teams want to do right now, is score as much as they can in the paint.
Riley Torrey able to pick up the offensive rebound, but could not convert. Nice find inside. Claire Orth. The one-handed bounce pass from Jarnett, freeing up the sophomore guard. First basket of the night for Claire, and North Dakota. A quick 4 run has them back on top. A foul here, Katie Kirkhart, a good drive to the rim. At the other end, Katie Kirkhart with the first of 2 free throws. She was a state golf champ back in high school. Played basketball as well. Decided to walk on to the basketball program when she came to campus, earned the scholarship, and now she's the starting point guard for this Golden Eagle team.
That's pretty lucky. Those are 2 sports that you don't hear a lot of crossover. Like a Faith Dooley, who played volleyball for UND and then continued to play basketball. You see a little bit of that. Christy Basie of my era played basketball and then played some soccer. You don't see a lot of golf turned basketball players.
Jacqueline Jarnett a moment ago missing from 3. Rachel Shoemaker at the other end, able to score on the baby hook for a run for the Golden Eagles. Right back on top by 3. And Travis Brewster wants a timeout. 6:57, opening 3 minutes belonging to ORU, an 11-6 advantage since the break for the Golden Eagles. North Dakota now with the basketball, trying to balance things out, and Orth quickly tied up. Shoemaker reached.
Yeah, it's kind of been a by committee, scoring by committee for both teams, and the usual suspects are, they've got those 8 points, except for Julia Fleece. We're used to seeing her score a little bit more. Sat the whole first half on the bench, and it's just been a little bit of a struggle here in the second half, putting the ball in the hole.
You mentioned by committee, all 8 players who have seen the floor for ORU tonight have at least 2 points. North Dakota's played 11, which is not atypical. They typically have that deep bench. 9 of those players have scored. Kenny Lippi, the Summer League's leading scorer, who has had double figures in scoring every game this season, sitting on 8, as is Gentry Holt.
Defense a little bit more, because you're putting their best defensive player on the block, on the bench with 4 fouls.
In Stillwater, former All-Oklahoma selection, averaging 7 points a game, 5 rebounds. Able to get 1 of 2, so still nobody at double figures tonight. 4-point advantage for the Golden Eagles. This, by the way, just the 4th meeting all-time between these 2 programs. They had never met before the Summit League era. Olivia Lane, nice move in the paint, showing off the footwork and the finish.
She does a nice job using her length, Alex. Her arms are so long that she can kind of get a little bit, discombobulated a little bit, but then she can find herself back at center and finish really tall and really high, and it's hard to block a shot when you finish so high above the rim.
Riley Torrey unable to connect at the rim. Still just 2 points for ORU's 2nd leading scorer. Van Loo blocked from behind by Shoemaker, but fouled in the act.
Her body, she's got a nice size frame. She's a strong player. Really try to back yourself up with her, is using her strength to an advantage and using her frame and her nice wide shoulders to get in there and really.
A Beaver Dam, Wisconsin product. The plan was, again, to give her a year, get used to the speed of the college game, redshirt, and then come out as a redshirt freshman next season. But sometimes the best laid plans, you got to step in when people get hurt, and she's done well. As has Olivia Lane. You saw a moment ago, 6 points, 10 rebounds. making her first career start tonight. Good defensive effort here. Another empty trip for ORU. And a chance for UND to take the lead. Maggie Manson, too strong on the three-point attempt. Lippy with the rebounds. Kenny Jo in transition. Misty Cousin wanted the foul, and she probably has a point. Van Loo was not straight up that time on the attempt. Allie Van Loo inside gets the basketball poked away by Kenny Jo Lippy. Quarter, correction, led by 5 after the first quarter. ORU with a strong second quarter to make it a 2-point game at the break. Outpacing the Fighting Hawks by 3 here in quarter number 3. Julia Fleece with 4 fouls on the bench for UND. Maggie Manson in some trouble here. 3 to shoot. Baravic has to get it off quick, and she does. Right at the buzzer, too strong. Lane, though, the backside offensive rebounds. Olivia Lane making the most of her first career start tonight. 8 points, 13 boards now for the freshman from Pequot Lakes.
Yeah, Baravic did just a nice job trying to get anything she could out of that, and Lane was there to just pick up the pieces.
On the other end, heady move by Shoemaker, who was wide open underneath. The quick answer to pull ORU back on top by 1. Manson now off the mark from 3. Maggie Manson, who had 9 points in the first meeting between these two, coming off the bench. Get the score here tonight. Loose pass by Shoemaker, picked off by Reinke. Michaela Reinke going coast to coast. And she'll head to the free throw line.
She's going to come with her work pail and do whatever she can to be good for the team and help them try to win.
Selfish player that does all the little things. 4 points, 4 rebounds is her average this season. Able to get 1 of 2 at the free throw line. 6 points now for the former North Dakota Scholar Athlete of the Year. Open 3, this time drops. Riley Torrey, who's such a good three-point shooter, 45% from behind the arc, has yet to get it going tonight. A big trade for her. Lane unable to connect at the other ends. Bertans, the long pull-up. 5-0 run for the Golden Eagles. In a game in which both teams have struggled for offense at times. Feels like a 5-0 run, feels like a significant run. Elena Jarnett on
into this one in a game, like you said, where points are a little bit hard to come by.
Seven to shoot now. Elena Jarnett. Baravic on the drive. Tough pull-up jumper for the freshman.
North Dakota likes to have the ball in her hands when that shot clock's coming down. She has the ability to create and find that open look.
Garvey off the mark. Lippy, though, the backside rebound. And Kenny Jo Lippy, who...
Kayla Reinke, because Olivia Lane was in the vicinity as well, and she has 3 personal fouls. So if that would have been disastrous in the third quarter for North Dakota.
Lippy is an 80% free throw shooter, knocks both down. 10 points now for the Summit League leading scorer. 52-47. Lane 2 shorts on the attempt, and she'll commit the personal. Going for the offense for her. 10 points, 13 rebounds, 4 fouls. Both she and Fleece in the contest now. Jacqueline Jarnett's going to have to play on the inside. Bertan's able to knock both free throws down. And ORU has their biggest lead of the evening, 54-47. Jacqueline Jarnett, right idea, just too strong on the pass.
From here, Alex, it looked like she had the corner. It looks like she could have gone up strong with that left hand and continued going to the rim, and she saw a teammate that looked to be more open. I bet Jacqueline would like to have that one back.
Gentry Holt inside. Good high-low action. Bertans finding her senior classmate down low. ORU putting some offensive possessions together now, building this 9-point advantage. And Travis Brewster will choose to take a timeout. 89 seconds left. See Fleece on the bench. Baravich well off the mark that time for three. No second chances. Torrey comes up with the loose basketball up to Garvey in transition. Bertans from the free throw line. Too strong. Gentry though. Gentry holds on the rebounds. Allie Van Leeuwen this time, the arm bar called.
Have to be able to crash the boards hard from all positions when your best rebounders are sitting on the bench.
Bertans able to knock both down. Just a 60. Been a different story here after the break. The defense by the Golden Eagles, a big reason why. North Dakota going cold. No three-pointers made. They had 4 in the first half, none in the second. That was one of your keys, Val. Or you asked to defend the three-point arc, and they have done well. Baravich got a decent look with the shot clock winding down. Holt, though, affecting the shots. 3-second difference between shot and game clock. Misty Cousin calling out, let's hold for one.
Yeah, we talked about the rebounding advantage. North Dakota with 28, Oral Roberts with 24, and then defending that three-point line. Two things that are so important in this game, and they're going to be even more important here in the fourth quarter.
Three to shoot now. Torrey got the three partially blocked. And it'll be a shot clock block. Can North Dakota pull off something here to trim into it? Baravich across the timeline. At the buzzer, Casey Baravich almost gets it.
We'd love to have a lot of fans there, Alex. The North Dakota Champions Club is actually hosting a pregame party before any game that North Dakota women or men play right on site at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. So it'll be a great event. So get your tickets, come on down, have some pregame fun with us, and watch North Dakota play.
Now on Allie Van Leeuwen, and Olivia Lane and Julia Fleece both on the bench with 4 personals.
Have some height advantage, and having the ability to get some offensive rebounds has been really crucial for Oral Roberts to go on that run and to continue it here to start the fourth.
Mo Bertans now with 16 points. She averages 10 and 6 a game. She had 14 and 6 against South Dakota State the other day. She's done her damage in the paint and at the free throw line tonight. And UND just cannot buy a bucket at the other ends. Bertans once more running the floor, and she'll head right back to the free throw line as Van.
Nobody was in double figures, and all of a sudden Mo Bertans has 17 points. It happened really fast there in the third.
From the free throw line, she was high school teammates with former ORU great Maria Martínez from a couple of years back, former all-conference player. (62-47). Lane, the long jumper misses everything. Ortho there for the offensive rebounds. Baravich able to get that one into Lane somehow. Nice work by.
I have those quick steals, and I think that comes down to good coaching. You've got them prepared, and you've watched enough film to know what North Dakota likes to do, and they've just done a really nice job defensively, especially in the second half.
Lane coming up short on the jumper. Another empty trip for UND. They've corrected Olivia Lane's stat line, by the way, 8 points now to go along with 13 rebounds. So no double-double yet for the freshman. Bertans just keeps pouring it in. 20 now for the senior. Bertans, by the way, checks out a new career high for her. 18 was her previous, 20 now for the senior. Shooting was the issue for North Dakota down in Tulsa. It was 27% from the field. They were 6 of 27 that night from 3. Tonight, which started so promising, again, they hit 5 of their first 6 shots. They've really cooled off since then. UND now down to 35%.
It's up her 4th fall, but she's got a lot of teammates that are carrying that scoring role for her, that it's a little less stress for Oral Roberts to have her with 4 fouls than it was for North Dakota to have 2 of their post players with 4 fouls.
Plus, her team has a 17-point advantage, which you'll take the breathing space at this point. Baravich unable to connect. Gentry Holt at the other end, no. Offensive rebound by Katie Kirkhart. Last touch by North Dakota. A week after playing so well defensively against Purdue Fort Wayne, holding that team to under 50 points on the road and really locking down ORU for most of the first half. Golden Eagles have really found their offense here in the center, who had 16 points in the first meeting between these two off the bench, out for the second straight game, scoring off the bench. They also lost a couple of players, including a starter, midway through the season. Sisters Carly and Macy Gore left ORU after the first 10 games because of family reasons to go back home. Elena Jarnett able to step up and hit a three to pull UND back within 15. ORU also missing Maya Mayberry, who's redshirting this season. She was a second-team all-conference selection last year, averaged 14 points a game. So certainly a Golden Eagle side that, again, was picked to finish third in the league for good reason. We expected a lot of firepower back, and they've had to readjust on the fly.
Yeah, that's quite the resume, Alex, to Grand Forks. So fun to see some fans in the blue and gold up where they're probably freezing at negative 12 degrees watching some women's basketball.
You know, they did mention, though, there is snow down in Tulsa. Julia Fleece. Oh, and Julia, who went 0 for 5. Sometimes that gets in your head.
Yeah, you feel like you can't miss because you missed the last one and you want to make the next one. And oh, it's a lot of pressure you can put on yourself if you're not making what they call the easy ones from the free throw line.
North Dakota 9 of 13 from the stripe tonight. ORU 16 of 19. Skalnick off the glass and in. ORU's only played 8 players, but they've gotten production from all of them. Nice move inside by Lane. Basket in the foul.
Julia Fleece only played 10 minutes tonight, Alex, with those 4 fouls. And she has 6 points for North Dakota, but North Dakota has a completely different makeup when you've got post players that are not in foul trouble.
Well, Fleece averages 24 minutes a game, and it feels like she plays more than that at times when she's on the floor. Her influence is so great. Lane now with that free throw, her 3rd double-double of the campaign, her 1st in Summit League play. 12-point lead, Britons having a career night. Backside rebound again, another offensive putback. Rachel Skalnick with 2.
Well, as a post player, that just breaks your heart. You play such good defense, on-ball defense, and you make a girl who's scoring a ton take a really tough shot, and then a missed box out, I think, by Jacqueline Jarnott there, just allows for that easy putback. But good to see Olivia Lane continuing to do what she can do on that offensive end, and North Dakota's got to get some stops and scores, put a little run together here.
Lane loves that reverse lay-in. How many times have we seen that this season?
A lot. That's like her signature. It was first time today, but she does do that a lot.
That will be the last action for Olivia.
And 13 rebounds. That's a lot for a freshman, and that's going to continue to make her pretty good staple for this North Dakota team.
Van Loo now with the block on Britons underneath. Jarnett, a heady play to get out of trouble in the corner. Can the Fighting Hawks get this down to single digits? Ravitch, though, the pass. Just a little bit too much to ask him. 15th giveaway of the night, so that's not really been the issue this evening.
Yeah, hard to see there. It looked like it could have gone off either player. I know the Betty crowd wanted it to be a North Dakota basketball, but hard to tell from our angle.
Kenny Jo Lippy fouled on her way to the rim. Elena Jarnett, another double-double for Lippy. Just, again, we've talked about her a lot. She's tops in free throws made and attempted. She's 7th in free throw percentage. She is first in, I would say, a favorable schedule down the stretch. When you look at it, they finished with 4 of their last 5 in Tulsa. ORU, by the way, beat NDSU 70-62 in their first meeting back in early January. North Dakota getting set to play the Yotes for the first time this season.
Really good when she has a lot of space to work with, and that's exactly what she did. And she gets her free throw, so she gets that little monkey. And I know Coach Brew is kind of going offense for defense as best as he can. You see Allie Van Loo come out to try to play defense, so Julia Fleece doesn't pick up that 5th foul, excuse me. We'll see if it pays off here if Allie Van Loo can get a good defensive stop for North Dakota.
Lippy, basket in the foul. Not a great shooting night for the junior, but certainly effective. 14 points now to go along with 10 rebounds. 13-point lead once again for ORU. Fleece back on. Elena Jarnett. Second tray of the second half for number 12. North Dakota back within 10, but they need to stop at this end. They're going right down to Bertans with Fleece there. Julia goes straight up, good defense. Gentry Holt, who's been so active, able to put, you would stick up for Lindsay, right?
Oh, for sure. I still would, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
I think so. I'm glad you didn't pause.
No, I of course would, yeah. She's a great sister.
Gentry Holt inside, blocked clean by Orth. She gets it back, no good. Jarnett now, 1-on-3. Sander the take, gets it stripped on the way in. Another good chance for UNB to get it down to single digits. The ORU defense, though, once again coming up with the stop. Misty Cousin employing her team. Let's slow things down. Work it around. Run this shot clock down. Let Lippy work. Kenny Jo off the mark. This time another offensive rebound momentarily. Looked like Shoemaker.
Attack the rim hard here if you're North Dakota. You don't have to settle for threes. Keep going inside. Find Julia Fleece. Try to nibble away at this one. Two baskets at a time. 2 points at a time.
Jacqueline Jarnett, a long two-point basket drops. Jacqueline now in double figures with 10. And all of a sudden the lead down to 8. ORU was up by as many as 17 in this quarter. Fighting Hawks have done a great job of sticking with it. Can they get another stop here and get a little closer? Bertans down low against Fleece. The step back does not go. And now Jarnett gets bundled in her first trip to the line tonight. And the lefty cannot connect on the first, 6th best in the Summit League. So now 12 of 17 from the stripe tonight. 7-point ball game here at the Betty. 73-66, under 2:30 to play. ORU 4-5 in the league, trying to pull even with North Dakota in the Summit League standings. UNB looking to mount a tremendous comeback and give themselves a 2-game cushion. Bertans asking for it down low. The kick out, Skalnick for 3. Big time triple for Rachel Skalnick. Second chance points in favor of the visitors.
Kind of comes down to turnovers, which we talk about a lot, Alex. 14 turnovers for North Dakota, 8 for Oral Roberts, which is under North Dakota's average, but still limits their shot attempts, which just hurts. It just hurts all around.
Xander unable to.
It's just hard as a player to get used to that. Like if the game's being called tight, then you really tighten up. If the game's being kind of both ways, sometimes it's called a little bit tighter, sometimes it's not. Just tough as a player to try to know what to expect from the referee when you're playing a game like that.
Xander only gets 1 of 2. Still a 9-point advantage for ORU, a 3-possession game at best for the Fighting Hawks. Bertans, nice find. Skalnick inside, basket in the foul.
Play by Skalnick. Heady guard making the most of her minutes.
This is just the second time all season that Skalnick has been in double figures. She only averages 2 points a game. Huge impact for her in this ORU squad that is limited tonight because of injury. Jacqueline Jarnett with her offhand that time, able to hit the floater in the lane.
It'll be fun to welcome them into the Betty. It'll be a really big challenge on both sides, but North Dakota here has got a challenge in front of them, and we'll see if they can make the most of it.
Big turnover forced. Megan Xander coming up with the loose basketball. Elena Jarnett, she's been so good from deep tonight, able to create space but cannot connect. And now Kenny Jo Lippy will draw the foul.
Shots, and that one she had to. Shot clock's going down. You need to do something to get a look at the hoop.
1 set left. Kenny Jo Lippy able to make 1 of 2. 15 points now for the junior. UND needs buckets, and they need them quickly. Jacqueline Jarnett, the step back 3 does not fall. Ooh, Julia Fleece. First ever meeting between these two last January. ORU came to Grand Forks and got a 30-plus.
Every time she shot the ball, I thought, no way. And yep, it went in.
She had that kind of a season last year. She's now in double figures for Julia, who's got 11. Remember, she was scoreless at the half. Good effort by Megan Zander.
The minutes that she's been in, just tough that she picked up those quick 3 fouls in the first half.
Lippy able to beat the press. Scarvey now fouled by Jarnett. Chance to extend this lead, and now it's into double digits again. Happens in the first round in the 1-8s. But for UND and for ORU, the hope would still be, can we creep up and get to the 3 spot? Lily Keplin off the mark from 3. And now Lippy's going to be fouled here. You know, that task.
Yeah, it's a dogfight. You look up and down the schedule, and there's a couple teams that have a few easy paths because they've already played this. Have South Dakota State. You've got South Dakota twice. It's not going to get any easier after today. And hopefully North Dakota can watch the film on this and learn and see where they can get better, and have to have a short memory, because in 2 days you've got the best team in the conference and one of the best teams in the country coming into your...
From seeing more action here tonight.
Yeah, Lily does so many good things well on the offensive end and just quicker defensively, and that's what they're working on, is trying to speed her up to the pace of college defense that she so desperately needs to play, and then she'd find herself on the floor quite a bit more. But again, she's only...
31 minutes of action, just 4 of 14 from the floor. 7 of 9 from the free throw line. 3 in a row. Jarnett able to get 1 of 2. Staying in Fargo this week. They flew in, stayed there last night, drove up this morning to Grand Forks. They'll head back there tonight. As it stands right now, it'll be a happy journey down I-29. They'll take on the Bison on Sunday. And again, suddenly a game that UND fans are going to be watching, with NDSU now just a game back. If you look at this loss tonight, again, leading by 2 at the half. What did you see that changed?
Such a good job of pounding the ball inside and really exploiting the weakness that North Dakota has. They're very short in the post play. You know, you've got a deep bench, but you're deep in your guards. North Dakota's very deep in the guards. It's just post play. Anytime Julia Fleece, Olivia Lane are in foul trouble, North Dakota's going to be in trouble. And that's exactly what ORU did. And they continued just to hammer the ball on the inside. And
And not a dirty play by any stretch. Just trying to turn and box out, find your man.
Balls are going each direction. It's just unfortunate that Lily caught it right in the chest.
Manson at the free throw line.
11 free throws today, Alex. That's a lot for North Dakota. They're only shooting 59% from 3. They got there 27 times and only could convert on 16 of them.
Majority of those misses coming in the second half. Elena Jarnett unable to connect. From a year ago will drop to 14-9 and even 5-5 in conference. Mo Bertan's happy just to dribble this one out. And that's going to do it here from the Betty tonight. 86-6.